Off we go from Denver. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
So here come the Cowboys onto the field with excellent position to get things started. Leading them out will be the 4-time Pro Bowler, the 2010 Comeback Player of the Year. At quarterback, it's the dynamic Michael Vick. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. The Cowboys and Broncos, some of you may or may not remember, they played in the Super Bowl back in the 70s, Super Bowl 12, in fact. Won by the Cowboys and Roger Staubach, 27-10. Last year, though, it was the Broncos who put together one of the stunners of the year. Week 9, they led 30-0 at one point in the 4th quarter and wound up hanging on 30-16 in Dallas. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9. They'll try to throw it here. Vick. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. But Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. They'll look to throw here. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it facing a second and long situation. A play action fake. They'll look to throw. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a third and long. But looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Fourth down, so they send out Trenton Gill. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. On the return, Hester. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Bronco quick.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. On 1st and 10, here's Vick. That'll be caught. It's the tight end Howard. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down, ball on the 3. 1st down marker at the 1-yard line. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll run with Sanders. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Ready?
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Christian Okoye taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced to punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And the ball banked way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And not much happening there, as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And able to break this out all the way to the return. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
First down carry by Sanders, well defensed as they'll hold him to just a couple. Second down coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Michael Vick. Rush coming, and he's taken down. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, and talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Vick will look to throw on first down. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
A first down throw coming for Vick. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action in Denver. Vic readies to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cowboys take a 3-touchdown lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Let's go.
They'll drop to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked off by the Hall of Famer, Night Train Lane. And the Cowboys are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
We have played 3 quarters. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Vic now from the 50. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Got an open man. It's Devin Hester. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Randy Moss, 32 yards. And the Cowboys have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
This taken in at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
It's showtime, baby.
This offense so far on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Derwin James with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating a certain amount.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left. And their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes this 35-0 now. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Broncos are about set to go on offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Dorrance Armstrong picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
That's taken it around the 40.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out to this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Now they're going to throw it here with Vic.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Here's Vic. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
And coming out now, the Broncos.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason.
There he goes, right side. 20. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 70 yards. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it on my own. Keep my way up,